Hey, what's up guys, Steven here, and I've got another completion video for a game that turned out to be one of my all-time favorites. What Remains of Edith Finch is the second game made by developers Giant Sparrow, their first being The Unfinished Swan, which I haven't played, but I'm definitely interested in now. Edith is voiced by Valerie Rose Lohman, who I did recognize from her role as Jess Blazkowicz in Wolfenstein Youngbloods, but more so from her voicing Rachel in Tower of God. That being said, this is my favorite work of hers, and the performance she gives so full of melancholy and a sense of morbid acceptance. She was also nominated for a 2017 BAFTA for Best Performer, but was beat out by Melina Juergens. I might be mispronouncing her last name, but she voiced Senua in Senua's Sacrifice, which that win makes sense. So the way the game works is your character explores the elaborate Finch house and slowly finds out what happened to each member of the Finch family. The story of the Finches is full of tragic accidents, some brought on by underlying mental disorders, others just plain bad luck. For instance, in Molly's story, it gets a little fantasy-like with her imagination, but we do see her have this insatiable hunger, eating everything and anything. This is actually a real eating disorder called pica, and it's characterized by people eating things that have no nutritional value, like tubes of toothpaste or plastic berry decoration. We also see Lewis slowly lose his grip on reality, most likely due to schizophrenia, and Walter has severe PTSD. Then you have Calvin, who flew from a swing too close to a cliff. Why was that swing there, though?
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Anyway, their stories are so real, and the short time spent with each family member is more than enough to develop emotional connections, and that's through the great pacing and voice acting. Hearing Sam read the letter he wrote to remember his brother who just passed is heartbreaking. And while all of these things were amazing and grabbed me and kept me playing, they weren't my favorite part of the game. My favorite part, hands down, was the house. From the first time you see it, it looks like Lemony Snicket built a summer lake house, and going inside is even more exciting. And once you're inside, oh, the books. The books. Books stacked everywhere, shelves built into every single wall and door frame, and they're all overflowing. It is my dream to have a house just like this and a book collection even half this size. But I'd also like to say it's a dream house overall, not just because of the books. I feel like this entire house was the result of a couple of civil engineers with a case of beer and a free weekend. If I ever have the funds to build my own house, I'm definitely going to bring some engineers in and just let them go wild. The house in the game has cleverly hidden secret passages that lead to more and more rooms. And more books. It's clear that all of the family members' rooms had a lot of thought put into their designs as well. Anything that the flashbacks don't tell you about the member of the family that you're focusing on in the story, you can learn by just looking at the way the room is set up, and also because of the books that they have in it. This is brilliant game design, and I couldn't get enough. Anyway, I just wanted to gush about the setting for a bit, because it's been the most enjoyable game for me to explore that I've played recently. And seriously, this is my dream house. I need this place in my life. But there are achievements, and when it comes to them, the game's not hard at all. It makes it even easier with the ability to go back and replay certain parts of the story, which is even more helpful because the majority of the achievements relate to the flashbacks. During Molly's flashback, who I mentioned a bit earlier, you turn into various animals, and there's an achievement to catch 2 bunnies in 2 sweeps as an owl. It's easiest to do this when the bunnies are in the field, but there is some sort of auto-aim, so when you swoop down, it's not crazy hard.
He was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Later on in the same level, you're a disgusting monster, and this slithering shit creeps me out. Anyway, there's a drunk sailor that's singing a sea shanty, and all you have to do is just let him finish, and the achievement will pop. Also, when you're going hunting in Odin's story, instead of snapping pics of your daughter, find this rabbit over to the side and get a pic of him first.
Please just take the damn picture.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
There is one achievement spread over multiple levels, and that's to look through all of the peepholes and telescopes that you can, and you have to do it long enough to hear what Edith says. The guide I followed online said to look through the fence first, but this actually isn't required for the achievement, according to other people online. But I'll quick tell you where they all are because it's not that spread out. Once you're inside the house, the door right next to the front door is the library entrance, so peep there first. After, go upstairs and look into all of the rooms that you can. This will include Molly's room, Barbara's room. Then there's a hallway with 3 doors close together. The first room is for Edie and Sven, and next is the bright pink Pepto room, also known as Gregory's room, then the room that Calvin and Sam share together. And that's it for a bit. The next thing you have to look through is a telescope, and it's once you're going through the Finch graveyard. At the very top of the hill, you can find a telescope and look out to find the first Finch house, which was caught in a storm and sank. And you should really play the game if you're interested to know how that happened, because the Finches really do have some horrible fortune. And then you're going to what might be my favorite section of the game. It's the higher section of the house. They definitely are the 2 coolest rooms that are up here, and they belong to Edith's brothers, Milton and Lewis. One is a tower and the other is a boat. After that, you should get the achievement, A Closer Look. I definitely know that this game and house are going to stay with me for a while. There is something so real and relatable about each of the Finch family members, and the house is full of curiosity, and it somehow felt incredibly open in this very linear game. I also loved the length of the game. It says what it needs to without dragging its feet, and I could see myself coming back to do a playthrough in the future just to be in the house again. I can't recommend this game enough to people. Anyone who values storytelling in a game should definitely play this, because as far as I'm concerned, the people at Giant Sparrow have put on a clinic with this one. If you have any questions about the game or achievements in it, leave a comment down below. If you or someone you know can build this house or one like it in real life, please shut up and take my money. Thank you for watching, and until next time.